Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversations are pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Did you bring your thinking caps? Because it's time to put them on. Because the conversation starts now.
I love it.
I love it. All right, so where's my pointer at? I had this little kid over my house, girl. He was cute as he could be, but he had to touch everything.
Everything. Yeah, it's not right. They can't touch everything.
And I'm like, take him home. I've had enough. Well, I haven't had any little kids around in quite a while. Do you have children or little children or grandchildren?
I don't have little children. My youngest is 16. He'll be 17 in a couple of weeks. Yeah, so no babies over here. And my oldest is 25, so.
It's work.
It is work.
I see why the parents had a device in front of them all the time, because they be busy. But I kind of like them busy outside.
Yeah. But you also like when you can, like you said, come get them, take them home. You also like when you can send them on their way.
And I hate when parents over-discipline their kids. Sit down, don't do this. Well, what the hell did you bring me for if I can't be a kid? I'm exploring stuff. I get it.
Absolutely.
But not in Miss April's house with crystal and little fingerprints and, no. Anyway.
Right.
But I'm digging you right now, Latoya Frazier. Brains, she is here with me on the edge. Do y'all like little kids coming over your house? Think about it. This is the place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. And I let y'all in the room with me and my sisters. Let me tell you, this woman here, I can't wait to get caught up. I had to take notes, okay? She's so impressive. So I met her when she was a part of a conglomerate, another group that I thought was very innovative. But then she sprung off and she said, you know what? I can't have all my eggs in one basket. That's a smart chick. That is a smart chick. So she is a coach. We are going to talk about you living in Dallas, Texas. We're going to talk about your marketing. We're going to talk about your promotion. We're going to talk about you being an author, a podcaster, a project manager, a mama, a wife, a world traveler. Girl, I'm exhausted just reading all that.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. So, April, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to share with your brains.
Yes. This is so cool. This is so cool. So wait, we're going to get into the meat of the business and all that stuff later. But girl, tell me about Gay Paris. Tell me about this.
Yes. So
was this your first time?
This was my first time as an adult to visit Paris. So I actually visited Paris and Rome, and it was an amazing experience. So the trip was with a travel company. We originally were going in September of last year, but because of COVID, the trip got rescheduled. So the travel company said, you know what, you guys can cancel the trip and we'll give you a full refund, or you can reschedule for next year. And we suggest April because the weather is good, not a lot of tourists there, so you should have a nice time. So my immediate group was 7, but our tour group, there was 22 of us. So the first night we flew into Paris, we had a meet and greet dinner where we had an opportunity to meet the other folks that was in the group. And there were folks that traveled from all over. So we got a chance to not only experience it with my group, but with other people, other backgrounds, other cultures. And we just had an amazing time. So we explored the city, we explored the food, we wanted to do what the locals did. And it was amazing.
Did you dodge the pigeon shit? I've been to Paris.
Sometimes, not all the time.
But you know what? But it's beautiful, because what I love about Europe is that it's ever evolving, but it stays the same.
Yes.
We're booking a trip to Italy, okay? It's been on my life list. I'm ready to go. We're going to cruise, though.
Okay.
So we'll get over there, and then I can see what I like, and then I can decide what I want to go back and visit long term.
Yes.
But what was the travel like now? After COVID, what was with the restrictions? Were you extra cautious about what you ate? And, just tell me, what was the vibe?
Now, I wasn't extra cautious about what I ate because I'm a foodie and I want to try everything. But just prior to traveling, the COVID restrictions and changes are a little different. And it's different based on the country. So we were flying into Paris, so they had their own requirements. And then when we flew back to the US, we flew out of Rome. So the US has their requirements in terms of getting back into the United States. So now a lot of the airlines use this third party thing called, I can't even think of the name of it at the moment, but you have to fill out all these COVID requirement restrictions. Some countries require for you to have a test within 24 to 72 hours of entering, or you can just show your current COVID documentation. Yeah, so Paris was a little lenient on wearing masks outside of being in public places, but Rome, you had to have on a mask, and you had to have a certain type of mask. So
really?
yeah. So
and I'm sure they sold them at every street corner.
Yes, they did. So
did you get to go to the Vatican?
I did. And here's the great thing, April. I went, I just came back last week, but I'm going again next month with my 17-year-old in his class. So this trip will be Rome, Paris, and London. So my past trip, we didn't visit London, but I did get a chance to visit the other two locations. So I'm excited to go with him and his class. My last trip, there was a total of 22 people in our group tour. For the class trip with my son, there's 42 of us. So
they're young people?
Young people. So there's going to be students, teachers, chaperones, and then I'm not a chaperone. I didn't sign up as a chaperone. I'm just another traveler going. Okay. So and other travelers.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's going to be such a wonderful experience.
Yes.
And travel raises your sense of awareness, your sensitivity, your gratitude.
Yes.
Okay, because baby, I done been some places that, Lord have mercy. When I came back, I wanted to literally kiss the ground in the United States. I've seen some stuff. I've seen. And we've traveled a lot. And, people was getting all crunked up about getting the COVID shot. I've taken one for yellow fever. I've taken one for malaria. Heck, I didn't know what was in that either.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
So I am going to err on the side of caution. The water is different.
Mm-hmm.
Even I went to China. And I went in some bathrooms and they had bidets.
Yes.
I went in other bathrooms. I had to squat over a hole in the ground. So you can't pack your American when you travel like that.
You cannot. You cannot
market yourself that way. You have to immerse yourself and assimilate and acculturate. Here, they just want you, just get in line. Get in line and do it. But when you travel like that, so this is going to be a wonderful experience. Is this the first time your son has ever traveled abroad?
No, not the first time abroad, but the first time in these locations.
Oh, this is going to be wonderful.
Yes.
Are the men fine, girl, over there? Are they
They
really
are. They are. And they have a different swag about them as well. So that was good to see.
I heard they love to dress too. The Parisians love to dress.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then just the accent makes it all the more better.
Well, let's bring it back to the United States. And what you doing here on this planet? Let me ask you, what planet are you from?
Oh my gosh. Planet Earth? Is there such a thing still?
Yeah. I think I'm from Jupiter.
Do you think so?
Those rays going around. I like that. Because people are landing all over the place. Girl, they just out in the blatosphere. Just with the 5G, they don't know what's going on. They still trying to thaw out. Everybody's talking about the Great Resignation, but what are they doing? I went to the grocery store yesterday. I brought home 3 bags. It was $120. 3 bags, and it was mostly produce.
Right.
What are they doing? What are they
prices, post-COVID, everything is more expensive. Groceries, just everything.
Was it expensive in Paris?
I wouldn't say it was any more expensive than what we're doing here in the US.
Yeah, but see, you're on vacation, so you're gonna spend more. You don't go on vacation to be cheap brains. You
Not
go
at all.
all out. Okay.
Not at all. Yeah. But, just having the experience. One of the things that I noticed in Paris that I didn't notice in Rome is a lot of things in Paris. You see a lot of things that are Americanized. So they want to attract the American people by, having a lot of the places and restaurants Americanized. But I didn't want to eat American food. I wanted to eat, French food,
Yeah,
so that was one thing.
I want to eat from the street carts and stuff like that. But your stomach is different.
It's absolutely
different. Girl, where was we at? I think where were we at? I don't know. We were somewhere. And I wanted some Tylenol. I didn't know the stuff that was in it. They didn't have it. I was like, oh Lord, you don't know what to do. So pack your medicines, brains.
Yes, please.
So let's talk about the medicine that you are injecting into small businesses.
Okay.
I know you are a healer. You got some stuff going on there, some pixie dust. What are you sprinkling on these people right now to try to keep them focused and, mainstream on the cutting edge?
Right, absolutely. So what I'm sprinkling right now is launching. My background is in project management and digital marketing, right? So, what I'm doing is what I've been doing is, helping people launch their products and services online. And that's kind of been what I've been doing for the past 20 plus years. I did it when I was in the corporate space. And during the time I left corporate America back in 2015. And I was thinking that I had to learn all of these new skills, April, to be able to be successful online. And I'm thinking, well, you know what? Corporations are paying me a pretty good penny to project manage and, do digital marketing. So why am I spending all this extra time and money trying to learn these new skills when I already have the skills inside of me that's helping corporations be successful, where I can also help individuals, and still corporations, as well as, smaller businesses be successful as well. So that's what I'm doing. I'm currently in the launch space, focusing on, e-courses, because that's kind of, been my thing over the past 20 years.
The e-course, girl, yeah. Everybody and their sister-in-law got an online program.
Yes.
Brains, let's keep it 100. You're not drawing traffic to it, okay? You've invested this money. Number one, you're not marketing it.
Right.
Number two, you need to have a downloadable application, make it easy for folks.
Yep.
You need to have a beta group, somebody to test it out. You need to do some competitive shopping out here to see what your price point is going to be, so that you're competitive. You're not the low cost leader.
Right.
I tell you, it's a lot of work. I get it. So you help people from cradle to grave.
Yes. Yes.
Launching like what? Like a clothing line?
So for example, there's a lot of people now trying to transition into the digital space post-COVID, right? At first, a lot of people were like, pre-COVID, they're like, no, I don't know about the online stuff, but COVID showed us that you can still be successful online. And a lot of people that's already been in the online space, they actually became more successful during the COVID, because we already had the online, the digital piece of it all. So if you were in a space where you're a coach or a consultant or a service provider, whatever those services are that you were or are offering your clients, you can develop a signature program around that, or a course. So where I come in when it comes to digital marketing project management is, we all know or have in our mind what it is that we want to launch. A lot of people just don't know how to do that. Right? They say, I want to have this course, or I have this program. I want to launch it like yesterday. But you have to understand that there's method behind the madness, right? There's things you have to first have the idea for the course. And like you said, folks aren't marketing. So you have to have, a piece or a budget for the marketing. You have to understand who your content is for, your course, your program. Who are you marketing to? If you don't have yes.
Because again, you're not the only player on the team, okay?
You're not.
And so these people are your competitors. So go in and watch what other successful people. That's what I do. What other successful people do.
Yeah.
Girl, and it's worked like a charm.
It works like a charm. And here's another thing that I'll share with the brains that comes up a lot of things that people don't think about is a budget. You have to have a budget. So a lot of people that I talk to, when I'm asking them, what they want to do, and, how do you want to do it? So how much money do you have set aside? You want to run Facebook ads? Okay, there's a cost for that, especially if you don't.
I shared one of the posts that you had on Facebook. I loved it, with that lady hanging up the laundry.
Yes.
And she said, y'all say you want to support my business, but you ain't got no money. If you broke, just say you broke.
Just say that.
Okay. But I ain't going to change my price.
Exactly. And what they have to understand is, when you're working with someone like myself or a consultant, that's one price, but you also have to have a budget for your tools, your systems, and then your marketing piece. That's totally separate. So a lot of times when I come in to help folks with their business, I have to help them understand that you have to have a budget for some of these things. Sometimes we think, I want you to think outside the box, but you have to also, if you want to be successful, sometimes you may not be able to launch the full program like you want to. You talked about, April, a beta test. Do a beta, test that program to see what folks are saying about it, because in our mind, it's great, it's perfect, right? And we need to get in front of other people to see if they think it's as great as we think it is. And
Girl, I used to do that as a little side hustle. I would go into those what do you call them? The focus groups.
Yes.
Girl, I got airline tickets and $500 sometimes. Now I wouldn't do the medical ones.
Okay.
But talk about cars and travel and restaurants and commercials. It's the business. And that's what you have to do. And there's your testimonials, brains.
There you go.
You do one of those Survey Monkeys, 10 questions for free. And that tells you there's your testimonies right there. And don't be overly sensitive.
Right.
Because you need to edit and filter the program. What do the people want? You have to sell to value. But you do all of this and you still got to take this piggy to market, baby. You still got to sell it.
And speaking about testimonials, I read testimonials all the time, like whether it's personal or business. If I'm going to go buy something on Amazon, I want to see what the people have to say about it that's already purchased it. What was their purchase experience like? What was the product like when they received it? So now I've gotten into the habit of if I'm relying on testimonials, to make my purchases. So now I'm being more diligent about providing, testimonials as well, reviews, right? What have you. So I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
It's a huge thing. So let's ask you some fun questions, girl. Let's just get all in your business. All right. So what are 3 things that you absolutely cannot live without?
3 things I cannot absolutely live without. Well, I'm gonna say coffee. I've lived without it, from time to time. But I don't know, it's just something about, and let me tell you this, and maybe this will help the brains understand it a little bit better. When I have coffee, I like to have it by myself. And it's just something about the smell of it.
You got a romance with it.
Yes, got a romance. The smell of it. I'm just spending time with me and my coffee in the morning.
What?
And so that's one thing.
What did Jill Scott say? You like it tall, hot, and black.
Absolutely. And another thing I can't live without, I would say my laptop. And the reason I say that is because, to be honest, I really do live a laptop lifestyle. A lot of people say that, but my business is location independent. I could be anywhere. I could be anywhere taking this call right now. All I need is my phone and my laptop. And even when I'm traveling, even if it's for pleasure, and I say, you know what, I'm not gonna take my laptop, or I'm not gonna need. I take it with me. I may not say I may not sign on, but I take it with me anyway. Because you never know. I can work from anywhere. So
you can work from anywhere, and you can always find clients. Girl, I found clients on cruise ships. I've been on vacation. I've been working. I slide that business card. Next thing you know, I'm working.
Yes.
But being an entrepreneur is a lot of work, and you got to take it wherever. Yes, you can take it, but you still got to work it, brains. Just because she can do it from Paris, that means she still got to do it. You got to out that time. You have to be disciplined. You have to be structured, and hire where you're weak.
Yes.
Maybe you can get an intern, a college intern, to do your social media. Maybe you can get a grant or a loan as a minority-owned woman or, business, instead of trying to get all these nonprofit organizations. Girl, they wear me down because they're not sustainable. You need to have something that's generating you some money. I worked with a group. They got them a line of nail polish, and every time they sell the nail polish, they get money. But endowments and all that, companies aren't able to do that like they used to anymore. And, that is a small business too, a nonprofit. And believe me, the IRS will be up your behind like a colonic.
Yes, absolutely. No, I have a few nonprofit clients, so I definitely know what you're talking about. So.
Okay, and then also restructuring their credit. Do you work with companies to also relaunch and restructure, or are you just from the inception part?
So I do help companies relaunch and restructure. So, and when it comes to, and it's unique. It's based on every situation is different.
Right.
So I have some clients that I've worked with in the past where they tried to launch on their own, but they didn't have all the pieces in place. Marketing, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe they launched before, they already have their program together. They launched before, but they didn't launch or maybe the marketing piece was off. So maybe they didn't get the result that they wanted to get because maybe they slacked in the marketing piece, right? And again, it comes down to budget. How much do you have in terms of marketing? And then how much of a runway do you have? Do you already have a list of folks that you're marketing to, or are you building your list from scratch? Right. Those things play a huge part in launching or relaunching a business. And the great thing about working with someone that has relaunched before, I can come in and say, okay, when you launched previously, what worked well for you, right, and what didn't work well? So that way we can build a plan on, if something worked well for you, let's continue to do that. Right. Let's look at it and enhance that. And if something didn't work well in your initial launch, let's take a look at why it didn't work and see if we can still add that to the current plan or the new plan. Right.
Who pours into you, Latoya? You know, because you can't pour from an empty coffer. You know, you said you had a mentor, coach. Are you reading good books, girl? Because I'm reading Think and Grow Rich for the 4th time, and I get a nugget every time. Every time.
Yes. So that's a great question. So I have several people that are pouring into me, and one a business coach, right? Because at the end of the day, I know what I need to do, but I need someone to kick me in high gear. Like I kick my clients into high gear, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a responsibility to my clients, but I also need to have that responsibility of someone else. I know me, and I know that I need accountability. Because here's the thing, April, if I don't tell anybody that I'm going to do something, I'm like, oh, well, I didn't tell anybody. So if I don't launch that program, or if I don't do that new service, it's not going to hurt anybody because I haven't shared it with anybody. Okay. But my business coach, if I share it with my business coach or my friends or my family, my accountability partners, they're going to hold me accountable. I need to share that. I need to share that with them because I have goals just like everybody else. So if I'm holding my clients accountable to their goals, I need somebody to do the same. So I do have a coach.
Put your feet to the fire.
Yes.
All right, back to my fun questions because we just skipped all over that, girl. If you were an appliance in the kitchen, what appliance would you be?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Don't tell me the cotton picking coffee pot.
No. If I were an appliance in the kitchen, I would say the microwave.
Why?
The microwave, because it's so versatile in terms of what it can do. So it can give you something really quick, or based on what you have in there, it may take a process. It may be a little bit longer. So depending on the situation, some things I may need a little bit faster, or I may be faster at, and some things may need a little bit more nurturing or maturing. So the microwave is versatile in that. And I feel like I'm versatile in that area.
Well,
so
I'd be the teapot.
Now why? Tell me why you would be the teapot.
Because I'm hot and be spouting off. That's why.
Yes. I can see that. Yes, sure. I love it.
What brings you to tears?
What brings me to tears? Everything. I'm emotional.
Oh,
a lot of people don't see that about me, but I'm very emotional about it.
Are you emotional, or are you empathic, or are you both? Can you feel other people's energy?
Both. I would say both. But one of the things that brings me to tears, and it usually is tears of joy, that I get, because for me, I love to see people winning.
Me too.
And when people share their struggles and how they overcame that, and now you're in this place where you feel like you're winning, that brings me to tears of joy, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you've been through X, Y, and Z, but look at you now. And I want to be there to support. And sometimes I get a little teary. I'm emotional when it comes to a lot of things. So yeah. So
now, how many children do you have?
I have 3, 25, 19, and 16.
Okay. Are you married?
Not anymore.
Okay. So when you just ripped open your shirt and found that big S on your chest, Superwoman, and you gained your freedom, what do you tell a sister that's in that place right now that is scared, that's nervous, that doesn't have the accolades that you have, the resources, the education? She's down at the bottom of the barrel. How do you tell her to lift herself up?
That's a great question. And because I've had to do it, right? So, and just to share, I was married for 24 years. Wow. So starting a life after 24 years of marriage is totally different. You don't know what to expect. You have all kinds of things running in your mind about, can I do this on my own? I have the kids, looking up at me, I have, other people that look up to me, and there's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves. and being in the situation of a wife, a mom, a sister, a friend, you're always in that place of support, but you have to think about, how am I supporting myself through this process?
Right.
And one thing that I have to say, especially with May, we're having this interview in May, and this is Mental Health Awareness Month, right?
Oh,
And
girl, it's just springing up everywhere. Did you watch
everywhere.
the Red Table Talk?
I have not yet, but I have it saved so I can go back and take a look at it.
Girl, and these folks jumping up on stage and all this Dave Chappelle and girl, I don't even want to go anywhere. Me and my husband were sitting here. We were sitting here and in our den, surround sound, plush couches, all the food we could eat. Get up, go use the bathroom. I'll probably never go to a football game, a basketball game again. It's great to be there, but I just don't want to even be in that whole thing. I don't enjoy it. I can replay it. I can zoom in. Girl, I'm telling you, but then you don't want to be a hermit either. But I'm trying to prepare myself for this Europe trip, because we were supposed to be on that same cruise ship right before COVID hit, the 19th of March. And I got all my money back too. And I want to go there. It's calling me. I didn't see myself, honey. But I'm not going with no jacked up nothing. If this was your last day on earth, what would you want to do?
What would I want to do if it was the last day on earth? Well, one, I wouldn't want to know that it was my last day on earth. But if it were, I would want to be able to spend it with my kids doing the things that we all love. And one of the things that I enjoy with my children is traveling. I didn't get to travel, and you see me traveling a lot. So you probably see it on social media. I'm somewhere all the time. And I didn't get a chance to travel when I was younger. Most times when we traveled, it was because we were going to a funeral, or, somebody passed away, or something bad. And I didn't want my children to have a travel experience because of, something happened. I want to expose them to different cultures, different foods, different countries, and things like that. So I would love for it to be different currency. So spending it with my children, and I'm all about experiences. So I'd rather spend my currency on an experience than on a thing. So I would love to have it being an experience with my children.
I know. I was talking to Mr. Magnificent, and I wanted a present. I just wanted something. I said, go buy me something. He says, well, baby, at this point, all we need to do is create memories. What else could you possibly want? Oh, let's drink to that.
Yes.
Memories and travel.
Memories.
All right. On the edge. All right. So now, if you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Let's see. You know what? You've asked me this question before in a different interview. I don't even remember what I said back then.
I know that. I want to. Hey,
I'm a new person now, so I could have been a different animal anyway.
Exactly. You could have been a bird then, and you a turtle today.
Exactly. So let's see. I would be an elephant.
See?
And the reason I say that, and I'm pretty sure that's not what I said in the last interview, but I've studied the elephant a little bit, and I've noticed how nurturing the elephant is around its offspring, as well as their, what do they call their tribe?
Their pack.
Yes, their pack. Pack. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm just nurturing in general, personal and business, but seeing the elephant and how they're so nurturing, I would say I would be an elephant.
But they never forget. Okay.
Yeah, they're very smart.
Strong. Mm-hmm. They're very majestic. I love them. I have to go observe them all the time at the zoo.
Yes,
I went to the zoo, the San Diego Zoo. Girl, I tried to walk that zoo. I was exhausted. I said, where's that cart at? Where's that Skytram? Girl, I didn't realize how big it is. The zoo is a big place. It's a big place. Okay, you know what animal I would be? I probably changed my answer. A party animal, girl, please.
You probably already a party animal and been a party animal.
A party animal.
I love it.
And in closing, Queen, what do you want your legacy to be?
Great question. What do I want my legacy to be? So many different things, but I will say I always say I want to leave a legacy for my children, but it's like, what does that look like? I don't want them to have to figure everything out. I want them to figure some things out because that's part of life. But I want to be able to pass on what I've learned throughout my journey and how I can teach them the different things so that their experience, I can take out some of the, what word do I want to use? Take out not necessarily the struggle, but take out some of the
trepidation and the confusion. I did the same thing. I just leveled my daughter up.
Yes, there you go.
But wait, but then somebody gonna try to come at me and say, "Oh, you're handicapping her." I said, "Baby, you can't handicap something on a strong foundation."
Absolutely.
Now, if you clowning and acting a fool, I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may. But if you doing what you're supposed to do, you damn right. I'm gonna give you a hand up and a hand out because you my child. Ain't nobody else in the world gonna do it. Ain't nobody else gonna trust them. So absolutely. And so bravo, do that.
Yeah. And for me too, April, it's not just for my children, but all the children in my family that look up to me, because I'm the first entrepreneur that I know of in my family on both sides. So they're looking at me all the time. So sometimes I feel like, ooh, that's a heavy load to carry. But I even if they don't say anything, I know they're watching because they'll come to me. And I'm like, okay, it's not just about my children, but all the children that are looking up to me, not even the children, even some of the adults in my family.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah.
So we'll continue to shine.
Thank
Tell my
you.
brains how to get in contact with you, work with you, ask you some more questions about Paris.
Yes, Brains. Yes, Brains. So Brains, you can get in contact with me. My website is latoyafrazier.com. I'm more than happy to share some more experiences with the Paris trip, and I'm going again, so I'll have some more experiences. But April, I also have something for your brains. We talked about what I'm doing in terms of e-courses and launches and things of that nature. So I want to offer your brains a free resource. And they can go to latoyafrazier.com/brains, and it will give them the blueprint for the e-course development. So I have a free e-course development blueprint for you.
That's awesome. But wait a minute, before we go, we didn't even go. You got to come back because we ain't talked about the podcast. Tell them about the podcast real quick. Tell them about the podcast.
Yes. So when we talk about the podcast and the book.
And the book. Where's the book? Wait, Brains.
Girl, Get Up and Move. Actually, there's two of them. So we have Girl, Get Up and Move, Going to Your Next Level. And then we have Girl, Get Up and Move, You Are Enough.
Wow. She got a trilogy, Brains.
Yes, so and they can take a look at the books at Girl Get Up and Move /Latoya. You can read all about both of the books there. You can actually purchase both of the books there. Girl Get Up and Move /Latoya.
All right.
The podcast for your brains, April and I were just talking about this before the call. So I'll have a podcast coming out in the very near future titled Tea with Latoya. So I will come back and we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get into the launch phase. But I'm so excited about launching the podcast. That
could have been some money. So that's what you got to do. Two things you got to do, Brains. You got to answer your phone. He gonna call back, girl. That must be some money because he want to talk to me. I'm
gonna need you to return his call or answer his call.
Okay, or something. But wait a minute. Go to your mailbox and answer your phone. And if you in business and I call you and your voice mailbox is full, I ain't gonna call you back because you're not handling your business. It could be 20 calls. All you need is 2 to make your day.
There you go.
Clean out your mailbox. It's disrespectful. Okay. And what's disrespectful too is if you don't follow Latoya and me and get up with that podcast. Okay. Here we are on the edge.
On the edge.
All right. We love you guys deeply and completely. We trying to give you some fun stuff, entertain you, educate you, take you on virtual travel, but also teach you how to build your business and restructure it if, you can. So there's stuff for you. I love you. All right. Bye, my sister. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, Brains.